Have you ever gotten that feeling in the pit of your stomach on Sunday around lunchtime? You know that Monday is coming, your weekend is almost over, and you're not looking forward to going back to work. But what if you could reinvent your work and not feel stuck? What if there were new opportunities out there that you never even dreamed of? A career ceiling ready to be broken. I'm here today with John Acuff, and we're going to talk about his new book, Do Over, and he's going to share with us about career investments that can help transform our work life. Hi, John.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Welcome to our counter.
Yeah, I love a counter.
We're so glad to have you here today. I really appreciate your book. I just think it's got so much valuable information for people at no matter what stage they're at.
Well, thanks.
I saw that you tweeted, today's Parent Magazine, I think, wrote an article saying, this book is for everyone. It's not just if you're a high-powered executive. So I wanted to ask you, do you think that we're always looking for something new when it comes to our career?
I think that we're always going through a number of transitions. There's basically 4 transitions you go through with a career. You bump into a ceiling, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
You get stuck. You go through a bump moment. You lose a job. A situation changes in an unexpected way. You jump to something new, maybe a new job, a new city, or you have an opportunity that you didn't see coming happen, something positive. So I think that career is about transition. The days of having one job for 40 years and then getting a gold watch are over. They're never coming back.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important for us to say, okay, my job's going to change, my career is going to change. What are the things that I need in place that no matter what happens, I'm ready?
Okay. Well, in your book, I really like how you have it divided into 4 sections, and it talks about career savings account. And so we have, we kind of illustrated them here today because I thought they were good pictures.
I love it.
So I just thought we could go through each one and just talk for a minute. The first one that you talk about in your book is about relationships, and the symbol is a table. What does the table stand for?
Well, a table stands for getting people around a table and having a conversation. In a fast-paced world, it's easy to forget that relationships matter when it comes to your career.
Yeah.
I like to say a relationship will get you the first gig. Somebody will take a chance on you. Somebody, through connection and relationship, will offer you a job position.
Yeah.
And so we need to have a wide network of relationships. And I don't like that word networking. I mean, I think I'm like every other human that where they hear networking, it makes them kind of, the pit of their stomach goes, oh no. But what I'm talking about is being in friendship with people, having connections, having what I call boomerang relationships, where they go off into the distance. Maybe it's somebody you worked with 5 years ago, and you never know when they're going to come back.
Yeah.
But it's a really connected world, and so you know they're going to come back. So it's about being deliberate, about building good relationships.
Yeah, I like that in each section you kind of have like an action plan. And so the first section I really liked because you had Sharpies and note cards, which are really one of my favorite. Sharpies are my favorite. And you can get all kinds of nice colors and be really creative. So what are some of the things you say to do when you're writing down for relationships? What do you identify?
Sure. Well, I think that most of us don't know who we really know.
Yeah.
When I talk to somebody over coffee and they're in the middle of a job transition, I'll say, well, who can help you with this? And they can maybe list 2 or 3 people, but most of us know more people than we really know. So the note cards help you go, okay, I'm going to put 1 name per card, and I'm going to ask questions like, what are casual relationships I have? I've had friends get jobs via the lifeguard at the pool at the YMCA. So what are casual relationships? What are business owners I know? Business owners know other business owners. And so maybe the guy at the smoothie shop isn't somebody you're going to give your resume to, but he knows other people that own businesses in your town.
Yeah.
Who are people I've worked with before that I have a good relationship with? And you put 1 name per card, and then at the end of the exercise, you're always encouraged because your network is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And you can start to see, wow, I have some relationships and I need to ask for help. Your friends can't help you unless you ask for help. So it does take some bravery and some vulnerability, but it's a great way to start that conversation.
I think in the book you said, write down things you think you're good at, you might be interested in, and just kind of see what's common.
Yeah, so there's a same note card kind of exercise. A lot of times we don't know what we're really good at. I met somebody in their mid-50s recently, and they said, I've been a teacher for 35 years and I don't have any transferable skills. And I said, no. You've spent 35 years teaching people, learning how to engage in relationships, doing the politics of being a teacher in a big school. You have 1,000 skills. Let's figure out what they are.
Yeah.
And so with the note card, it's the same principle. You take 1 note card, 1 skill, and you write it down. And so you ask questions like, what am I good at? What have I been paid to do before? What am I afraid of? That's a counterintuitive question, but a lot of times the things you're called to, the things you care about, are kind of scary. Writing's that way for me. I don't run to the page all the time. Sometimes I get afraid to sit down with that because it matters so much to me. So you start to ask those questions, and you need skills. The reason it's a hammer is that skills are the hammer that helps you break through a career ceiling. It's impossible to get stuck somewhere old if you keep learning something new.
Yeah.
And right now, our technology is changing so quickly, our careers change so quickly that if you don't learn new skills, you become a dinosaur.
Yeah.
So what I encourage people to do is sharpen your old skills and learn new skills.
So the next one is a tree, and we're talking about character. And you say in your book, character is who you are. It's like in an orchard. And you talk about just identifying one character trait that you need to work on. Why is that important for us to keep doing that?
You really need all 4 of these, because if you only have 3, the whole thing falls apart. Say you have amazing relationships, amazing skills, amazing hustle, but your character takes a hit, you become Tiger Woods, and the situation falls apart. Can he get back into the top golf world? Probably. But his character took a significant hit, and it hurt his other things. And so character matters, and it's a slow build, but it's a quick empty. That's the challenge of it. Yeah. We've all seen politicians, bosses, leaders that spent years building something up and then lost it like that because of a character issue. And so I encourage people to think about things like empathy, which I define as understanding what someone needs and acting on it. And so character matters in the long run.
Yeah, and you say to even like to plant a seedling, like what's a new character trait too that you want to grow and work on that in your life. So
yeah, for me, generosity, learning how to be generous. Generosity in a world that's take is game changing. Rest can be a character trait.
Yeah.
In a world that praises busyness, rest is an act of bravery. So recognizing, okay, burnout isn't where I'm trying to go with my career. How am I smart about not becoming a workaholic? How can that become a small little seed of a character trait I plant?
Yeah, that's good. Like, so when we have these different things that we're working on, the final thing that we do, I think your equation is you add these all up and you times it by the last one, right?
Yep.
And that's the hustle, and that's the gas can. That picture scares me because I often drive around with my gas light on, so that represents what's going to happen to me.
You're about to run out?
Yeah. But for here, it means hustle. So explain to us hustle and grit, those things you talk about.
Yeah, if you have a lot of these 3 but don't have any of this, it's like owning a really amazing sports car that can't go anywhere. It's a lawn ornament. It's a weird paperweight. This is what you need to move everything forward. And so we talked about having 3 of the 4. If you have great relationships, great skills, great character, but no hustle, you become every professional athlete that had amazing natural talent in high school, amazing natural talent in college, but they got to the big leagues where everybody had the same talent and they wouldn't work hard and it falls apart. So hustle is a multiplier. And so, you want to learn a skill faster, hustle on it. You want to build relationships, hustle on them and be deliberate, not manipulative, deliberate. I love when people tell me, I don't want to be deliberate about relationships, that's manipulative. Really? Remember your wife's anniversary and tell me if she felt that was manipulative. Or don't remember it and go, baby, I'm sorry I forgot, but I just wanted this to be organic like jazz. Like I didn't want to manipulate it, so I just forgot it. And let me know how that goes. And so that's what hustle does. It takes all the things in these other ones and multiplies them and makes you lean into them with grit, with being willing to do the hard work that always matters.
Yeah. And I think you say too, to find some things that are hard for you and make sure you do them, like things that you're kind of, that take extra effort. Like for me, it's like PowerPoint or like spreadsheets. Like those are things I'm not naturally good at, but sometimes I have to do them. So I have to like, is that kind of what you mean by grit?
Yeah, with grit, I mean, I call it a grit list of creating a list of things that you might not love to do. You might not do them in a perfect world, but there's no such thing as a perfect job. And every job you do, you'll do some things to earn the right to do the other thing. So for me, email's one of them. And I can ignore email and let it pile up and miss a lot of conversations, or I can put it on my grit list and say, I'm not gonna fall in love with this skill, but it's not about that. It's about gritting my teeth, hustling and going, email has value because it connects me to people. It impacts my relationships. So I'm gonna grit and hustle on this and build that slowly.
Yeah, that's great. This is an equation I can understand. I'm not a math person, but this all makes sense to me.
Well, that's what's fun about this. Nobody in the audience right now is going to go, oh my gosh, John Acuff said the word skills. Like, thank you for coming to Canada, blew our mind. No, we all have these. We've just never applied them in this way.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. We're so excited about your book, and it's on the New York Times bestseller list, so that's amazing. So if you'd like to learn more about John, you can check out his website at acuff.me. You can follow him on Twitter at John Acuff. He's quite funny. And make sure you pick up a copy of Do Over, and you can rescue your Mondays and reinvent your work. Stay with us. We'll be right back.